Hello. So tell me if this sounds familiar. You eat less, you exercise more, you track everything, and your body responds by doing, well, absolutely nothing. Meanwhile, your friend over there cuts down on soda and loses 12 pounds by accident. So in the next few minutes, I'm going to show you why the same number of calories can elicit different responses in different bodies. And I'll show you some methods you can use to determine what mode your metabolism is in, plus a few quick fixes you can make right now to start to turn the boat around. Hey, I'm Dr. Delali Heavy, and I'm double board certified in internal medicine and obesity medicine. And I've spent the past 25 plus years helping people to lose weight and keep it off. Now, here's the part that matters. I have been on this journey myself, and therefore I do not coach from a pedestal, I coach from experience. I have followed thousands of patients over years and years across every eating style that's imaginable. And what that has taught me is simple but powerful. There is no one best diet that's out there. There is the right plan for the right person built around the real reasons why that person's body is gaining the weight and refusing to let it go. So I combine the best of conventional medicine with holistic root cause strategy. And I'm also a certified health and wellness coach. So we keep it practical, human, and sustainable. So if you want clear, honest health advice and tools and strategies that you can start to implement today, you're in the right place. Subscribe so you don't miss out on any of the content. And if there's anybody out there who you care about, share this with them. It might be the very video that will change their life. Now back to the video. Now, so do calories matter? Yes and no. And before you comment, bro, what about physics? I agree. I'm not here to argue with thermodynamics because calories are real, but your body isn't a spreadsheet. It's a living, breathing chemistry set with hormones, sleep, stress, inflammation, and a brain that may think midnight snacks are a personality trait. So if you've ever watched two people eat the same way and get totally different results, this video is going to explain why. And here's the key idea. Calories are a real measurement of energy, and calories matter. But what matters most is what your body does with those calories. And that's where context becomes everything. If you only remember one thing from this video, remember this. Calories are not the boss. Signals are. Now, most people's bodies tend to operate in one of two broad metabolic settings. Setting number one is fat storing mode, and setting number two is metabolic flexibility mode, which is basically your body's ability to switch between burning carbohydrates and burning fat without acting like it's under attack. Large population studies suggest that only a small minority of adults fall under the good metabolic health umbrella. In other words, a lot of people are trying to lose weight with a metabolism that's already leaning towards store fat. When your body is pushed toward fat storing mode, this is where calories count, because naturally, if you are storing all the calories as fat, then a greater calorie intake will cause greater fat storage. But here's where it gets interesting. If someone is truly metabolically flexible, then calories in/calories out becomes a lot less predictive because their body has options. When intake rises, they can ramp up their energy use, they can generate more heat, they may move more without even realizing it, their appetite signals tend to work better, and their body is more likely to treat food as fuel instead of automatically packing it away as fat. So same calories, different biology. Now let me say something that will sound like heresy until you understand what's happening under the hood. I have had patients who ate very little and still gained weight, and they felt puffy, tired, cold, hungry, and miserable. But when we increased their calories strategically and corrected the metabolic signals, the fat loss finally started. So imagine somebody gaining weight at 1,000 calories a day intake and losing fat at 3,000 calories a day intake. Sounds crazy, right? But that is not magic. That is the body coming out of the defend and store mode. And just to be clear, I'm not saying everyone should go and start eating 3,000 calories. Please don't clip that sentence out of context and make me famous for the wrong reason. So what I am saying is this. It's not just about calories. It's about what your metabolism is being told to do with those calories. When the body is in a defensive state, it can downshift energy usage. You burn fewer calories without trying, you move less without noticing, and your body becomes more efficient, but in the worst possible way. It holds on to fat it's preparing for winter. And yes, that can happen even when you feel like you're barely eating, because the system is trying to adapt. So the goal is not simply to eat less calories. The goal is to fix the signals so your body stops acting like it's in survival mode. Now let me tell you about a patient I'll call Tanya. Tanya is 41. She has 3 kids, and her husband is one of them. She has a full-time job. She's the kind of person who's so responsible it's almost annoying, right? Now she came in and said, I don't get it. I'm eating 1,200 calories a day, I'm doing cardio 5 days a week, and I'm gaining weight. I'm just stuck. And I believed her because I've heard that exact sentence 1,000 times. And so we did what we usually do. We stopped arguing with the scale and started looking for the signals. And here's what her so-called healthy day looked like. So breakfast was a protein bar and coffee. Lunch was salad with sweet dressing. And then she's starving again at 3 p.m. And then she'd do a workout after work. And by 9:30 p.m., she'd find herself in the pantry trying to get something to reduce the stress. And the kicker? Her sleep was trash. 5 hours which were broken up. Her stress level was sky high. She was snacking all day because she was trying to stay disciplined, and it was backfiring. Now, when we checked her labs, she didn't have anything exotic, right? But she did have a pattern we tend to see all the time. She had a high fasting insulin, borderline triglyceride levels. So we didn't start by cutting her calories lower. And that's the move that makes people more stuck sometimes. What we did was we changed the signals. And so for 2 weeks, we did 5 boring things, right? Number 1, no liquid sugar, period. Number 2, protein at every meal and real food. Number 3, no grazing, just 3 square meals a day. Number 4, strength training 3 times a week. And number 5, a bedtime alarm and a wind down routine she could actually do. And here's what blew her mind. In the first week, her weight barely changed, right? But her hunger got quieter. In the second week, her evening pantry attacks stopped. And by week 3, the scale started dropping. And she called the office to tell me, hey, I'm eating more than I was and losing. What is happening? And that's the whole point. Calories weren't imaginary, right? Her body just stopped treating food like an emergency deposit. Once the signals shifted, her metabolism stopped defending and started cooperating. And that's why your friend can quit soda and drop 12 pounds while you're doing cardio on 1,200 calories and your body is like, haha, cute, I'm storing this for winter. Now, if you'll remember only one line from this whole entire video, let it be this. Insulin is one of the strongest fat-storing signals in the human body. Insulin does more than just lower your blood sugar. It tells your body, store energy and put it away. And when insulin is elevated, it can dominate the entire metabolic conversation. High insulin acts like a powerful brake on fat burning. And when insulin comes down, fat burning becomes possible again. Now, insulin is not bad. You need insulin to live. But the problem is when insulin is high all the time, because of frequent refined carbohydrate intake, ultra-processed foods, constant snacking, poor sleep, chronic stress hormones, and insulin resistance. And that's when the body lives in the store signal mode. And here's an extreme example that proves the concept. Without adequate insulin, glucose cannot be efficiently transported and utilized inside cells. And there's a condition called type 1 diabetes. Those individuals are unable to make any insulin, so they have to inject themselves with it every day. Now, if for some reason they are unable to get their insulin, it could result in weight loss, even though they have massively elevated blood sugars. This is a life-threatening emergency though, and it is not a recommended weight loss strategy ever. I only bring it up to highlight insulin's role as a storage gatekeeper. Now, zoom out with me, because insulin is not the only reason calories don't behave the way people expect. Another reason is digestion and absorption. So if you eat 1,000 calories on paper, but you don't digest it well, or you don't absorb it well, then the amount that actually enters your bloodstream may be very different from what the label says. The food labels are estimates. Your gut is what determines how much of that energy becomes available to you. So two people could eat the exact same meal. One person would extract more usable energy from it than the other. And that's depending on stomach acid, enzyme output, bile flow, motility, inflammation in the gut lining, and overall gut function. And so the label is only a starting point. Your physiology decides the final invoice. And then we have the gut microbiome, those little critters living inside you. I call them your internal co-workers, right? Now, sometimes they're helpful, sometimes they're chaotic, sometimes they're throwing a party in the break room that nobody approved. But seriously, your microbiome can influence digestion, how much energy you extract from food, inflammation signaling, and even hormonal communication. It can affect appetite and satiety cues. And if the microbiome is driving inflammation, that can worsen insulin resistance, which then worsens fat storage, and it goes on, as you can imagine. And so once again, the point isn't that calories are irrelevant. The point is that calories are filtered through biology. And now let's summarize all of this in a simple, practical way. So calories matter more when you are insulin resistant, chronically stressed, inflamed, sleep deprived, eating ultra-processed foods, and living in a metabolic state where fuel gets stored easily. In that setting, increasing intake, increasing storage. But calories matter less when you are metabolically flexible. And so what should you do with all of this information? Well, if you feel metabolically stuck, stop obsessing over calories as the primary lever. Calories are not the boss. Focus rather on what changes the signals. And try the following for the next 7 days. Just do these 5 things and tell me which of the following changed first: hunger, cravings, sleep, or the scale. So number 1, improve food quality. Reduce refined carbohydrates and ultra-processed foods. Number 2, eat enough protein. Anchor every meal with adequate protein to stabilize appetite and preserve muscle. Number 3, add strength training. This will build muscle, and because muscle increases the energy burn and acts like a glucose sponge, it will be beneficial. Number 4, improve sleep, because sleep loss increases hunger signaling and worsens insulin sensitivity. And finally, number 5, try to reduce your stress, because chronic stress pushes your metabolism towards storage. And when you change the signals, your body changes what it does with food. And that's what I meant when I said calories are not as important as they seem. Remember, they are real and they matter, but they are not the boss. So quick question for you. Do you relate more to team my body stores everything or team my body burns everything? Drop it in the comments. And if this is a way of thinking that benefits you, be sure to like this video so that more people will benefit from it. Because in the next video, I'm going to dive deep into insulin resistance, how to spot it, the labs that I look at, and the first steps that get people unstuck. I will see you there. And as always, I'm wishing you all the best on your journey towards better health. Take care and bye.